Sailing to Byzantium. It is the another poem composed by the poet W. Yeats, an Irish poet. He was also a Nobel laureate. In the previous poem, we have also observed that he has written in a different levels, in different manner. He has described the aging process and the process that cannot be stopped by anybody else, even if he may be so powerful. He has also given so many examples about the philosophers that those who are able to change the world, they cannot stop their weighing old. In the second poem, he has again uh, threw light on the aging process, but the philosophy is little bit different. As he was an old man, in the previous poem, he has described that the old man's life is a meaningless life. It is not a useful life or fruitful life. But he has compensated his idea with that of his beautiful life, handsome age, lightening teeth, or powerful eyesight, and quite meaningful for the society. But in this poem, it seems that he is pessimistic. In that poem, he was optimistic. Even if he was an old man, he has accepted the worth of his life. But in this poem, we will see that he seems that it is a worthless life. The life of an old man is not meaningless for the current, present world. So that's why he seems to be fed up with the world. He was fed up with his own age. He might be facing few problems. An old person faces different problems at that level, on that stage. But he was also facing problem due to the neglect of the young people. The young people were always engrossed in sensual pleasure, dance, eat and be merry, in that philosophy. So that's why it seems that he has certain questions regarding the neglect of the old people. And his preference was to leave that place where there is no worth of the old people, where there is no respect for the old people. So that's why he wished to leave this place forever and to go somewhere else that may be a respected place for the old person. So that's why he has initiated this poem with the very sentence that declares that he doesn't like the place where he has no respect, particularly from the young generation. So that's why he says in that way, that is no country for old men. As if he has declared that if there is an old man, his life is meaningless, his life is worthless, so therefore people don't respect him. So that's why it is better to leave this place or join somewhere else where he may be respected, where the young people have respect for the old people. So that is no country for old men. The young in one another's arms, words in the trees, those dying generations at their song, the salmon falls, the mackerel, crowded seas, fish, flesh or fowl. Commend all summer long, whatever is begotten, born and dies, caught in that sensual music, all neglect, monuments of unaging intellects. In the previous poem, he seems to talk about the process of aging, that it was a meaningless life. But in that poem, he talks about the unaging intellect. So he has emphasized on the quality rather on the quantity of life. So therefore, he talks about the art and culture. Further, he says The young people in the present society, they are in one another's arms. It means the young people are engaged in merrymaking. They are engaged in uh, making happy moments, and they are ignoring the old people and the art where they should take attention towards them, but they are ignoring it. They are always busy in their songs. Even he has started from earth to a sky and has described that all the creatures on this earth are engaged in sensual pleasure, merry making. Even he has described the salmon. It is a kind of fish that lives in underwater, and mackerel crowded seas, even the sea animals, fish, flesh, or fowl. It means the creatures living underwater, the creatures, flesh means the creatures living on the earth, and even the. So he talks about fish, flesh, and fowl. These all three species. The fish specify that the animals or creatures living underwater. The flesh symbolizes that the creatures like man, women living on the earth, and the fowl symbolizes the birds who are flying in the air. These all species, these all creatures are just commending the summer long. It means they are just singing, they are just enjoying, they are engaged in merrymaking. Whatever is begotten, born and dies. He tells that anything, any creature that has taken birth on this earth, even beyond this earth, they, those who take birth and dies, these all creatures are busy in merrymaking. They are ignorant of the natural things, natural beauty. Caught in that sensual music, all neglect monuments of unaging intellects. What does the poet think further? He thinks that these creatures, those who are living on the earth, they are ignorant, they are busy, they are engrossed completely in merrymaking, in search of happiness, in search of sensual pleasure, bodily attraction. They are attracted to each other. They are always in one another arms. That shows that they are in search of physical attraction or just sensual pleasures. But the crime they are committing is not that they are engaged in merrymaking, but that even they are ignoring the permanent beauties. Like unaging intellect, they have separated themselves from this knowledge, from this intellect that is paramount, that is eternal. It is not like an old wood that once it will die. The fact is that an intellect is a permanent thing, it never dies. But people have no respect for this, for the worth of knowledge. They are ignorant about the knowledge or intellect. They don't talk about intellect. They are always engaged in merrymaking. They are always in search of the music or dance. In that way, they wanted to enjoy their life, ignoring the art and the permanent natural beauties of the earth. So that's why it seems that poet has certain uh, objections to those young people who are wasting their time in sensual pleasure, because they are not paying any attention toward the permanent beauties of the world. So therefore, now he comes to that conclusion that he must leave this place, he must leave this city, and he was in the search of, it seems that the poet is in the search of some places where there is respect for the worth, where there is respect for the old wood, or where the young people are not ignorant like the people they are here. In the second stanza, he further intensifies the feeling of oldhood. that the old people, those who are old, their life is just a meaningless life. They are just a worthless people. So therefore, this society, the present society, has no need of they don't require their services. So therefore, they think that they are of no use. In that way, the life of an old person becomes more problematic. So further he clarifies the problem of oldhood. An aged man is but a paltry thing, a tattered coat upon a stick, unless soul clap its hand and sing, and louder sing, for every tatter in its mortal dress. Nor is there singing a school but a studying monuments of its own magnificence, and therefore I have sailed the seas and come to the holy city of Byzantium. Further, he complains about this city, that there are different problems in the city because the people, particularly the young generation, young people, they are ignorant of knowledge that is a permanent thing. They are just hankering after merrymaking, artificial happiness that cannot satisfy them, but still they are in search of sensual pleasure, bodily attraction. It is not the permanent thing. Once they will be fed up with this kind of pleasure. So further he says that the life of an old man is meaningless, is worthless. How? An aged man is but a paltry thing. It is a worthless thing, meaningless thing. It is just a tattered coat upon a stick. Yesterday we have discussed that the just a tattered means a torn cloth, a ruined cloth, very old cloth is hang upon just a bamboo tree, just a bamboo on a stick, just like a scarecrow we have discussed. That happens in the last age of a person. When he becomes an old person, he loses his flesh over his bone and he becomes very lanky, very lean and thin. His health never supports them. So that's why they always feel sickly. And in that situation, even their own clothes becomes big for them, or it becomes unfit for them. So that's why he has clarified that an old person's life is just like a stick wrapped by tattered coat, old and ruined coat. Soul clap its hands and sing and louder sing. But the soul, he talks about the soul of the person that always clap and hand and sing and always engaged in singing and dancing, in merrymaking. They ignore the old people, the knowledge that the old people owe, even that is ignored, as if even the knowledge is meaningless, as the life of an old person is meaningless. For every tatter in its mortal dress means that the people, this is the worldly dress that the people used to wear on the earth. This is quite tattered, ruined, nor is there singing a school. It means there is no place where people can be taught about the real beauty of the world, the real knowledge of the world that is not transient, rather it is of permanent nature. But still people are not attracted towards this permanent treasure of the world, but they are attracted towards the bodily beautifulness. So therefore further he clarifies, there is no studying monuments of its magnificence. There are different beautiful things in the world. There is art, there is craft, there is culture, there is knowledge, intellect, but these all are ignored by the young generation. Young generation are found to be engaged in sensual pleasure, in search of merrymaking and money and matter, all this. And on this earth, in this city, there is no school where one can study about the magnificence of the beautiful things. And therefore, I have sailed the seas and come to the holy city of Byzantium. So that's why the poet has developed a idealistic city. It is Byzantium, because he is fed up with the life and the nature and character of the young generation. So that's why he wishes to leave this city permanently, because there is no worth, because he has now become unfit for this society, unserviceable for this society. So therefore he wishes to leave this city and to join Byzantium. At that time, Byzantium is a mythological city where there is respect for the old people, where there is respect for intellect and knowledge, the permanent beauties. So that's why the poet has decided to leave this present city and to go to Byzantium. Actually, Byzantium was a Greek city, but after some a few years, it was occupied by the Turks, and at last it became Istanbul today. In past, it was also called as Constantinople. So it was a city, but after that, in present time, we know this city as Istanbul. Istanbul was the very city that in Greek it was called Byzantium, and it was the paramount place. It was the place where there was respect for old people, where there was respect for art, that is an aging intellect. There was respect for knowledge. It was not likewise the city of the poet. So that's why in the second stanza he has decided to leave this city and to join Byzantium. What is his further intention? What he expected from that city? He clarifies. O sages standing in gold's holy fire, as in the gold mosaic of a wall, come from the holy fire, burn in a desire, and be the singing masters of my soul. Consume my heart away, sick with desire, and fasten to a dying animal. It knows not what it is, and gather me into the artifice of eternity. As his life is a worthless life in this city, so that's why he wished to go to Byzantium. Byzantium is a city where is the respect for worth, intellect. So in that way, he wanted redemption from this city, and in that way, he would take another incarnation to joining that city. There are godly people, there are good people. Oh sages, there are sages. They are standing in the godly holy fire. It is considered that fire cleanses everything. No, so that's why the dead bodies are burned. No, because the conception is there behind that the fire cleanses everything. It purifies everything. So that's why they says the sons in that city Byzantium, they are in the fire of God, as in the gold mosaic of a wall. That is a beautiful full city. He has described this Byzantium that it is a good city, it is a beautiful city, it is a golden city, because there lives the saint and sages of the time. So therefore he has wished to go there. Come from the holy fire burned in his ire. Actually, he has expectation from that city, that when he will join that city, he will be purified. He will be enlightened by the knowledge of the sages, those who are living in God's fire. He would be purified in the burn in the Zaire. No, that the world is circulating. So where he will be purified, his heart will cleanse itself in that fire and Zaire, and be the singing masters of my soul. He expected that the masters, these sages, these great persons will purify him, and they will his master. They will be his master, that in that way he may expiate his life. In that way he may take rebirth. He would be purified by those masters, great people living in that city Byzantium. Further he says, consume my heart away, because his life was a worthless life, a meaningless life. He might have committed different mistakes, even some sins in his life. So that's why his body is meaningless. It is not purified. So that's why there is a need that this heart may be purified, cleansed by these masters. So he requests the masters to take away the heart, because the heart is not purified. It is just a rotten heart. Masters of my soul, consume my heart away, sick with desire. He claims that his heart is sick with desire. He is a diseased person. He is not only an old person, he is a diseased person, because he might have felt different problems in his life, or he might have consumed the bad things, and in that way his body and soul has been contaminated, polluted. So therefore he requested the masters in Byzantium that they should purify his body and free his soul. Consume my heart away, sick with desire, fastened to a dying animal. He has compared his heart to that of the body of a dying animal. Dying animal means that a man's heart used to be an animal heart. Because there is wild emotions, there is wildness in human heart. So that's why he wanted him to make free from this rotten heart. So he requested the sages there in Byzantium that his life is just an animal's life. So he should be made free from that wild emotion, wild culture. It knows not what it is, and gather me into the artifice of eternity. How it is possible, the author doesn't know that how he may be purified from that of the polluted heart. He doesn't know, but he has requested the sages of the time or the city Byzantium that he should be purified, and he may be made artifice. He may be turned into an art, a monument, so that he may survive forever. It means he wants to be immortalized. Immortalized means he never want death in his own life. No, he wants that he should be immortal. And what is immortal in this world? Nothing except the intellect, except the art. Art is an aging intellect. It never dies. The people are always fascinated by art. So that's why he wanted himself to be an art, an artifice by the sages of that city, Byzantium. In the last paragraph, in the last stanza of the poem, the poet describes, once out of nature, I shall never take my bodily form from any natural thing, but such a form as Grecian goldsmiths make, of hammered gold and gold enameling, to keep a drowsy emperor awake, or set upon a golden bough to sing to lords and ladies of Byzantium of what is past or passing or to come. Actually, Byzantium at that time it was very famous city. Famous for what? It was famous for artifice. It was famous for knowledge or intellect. So therefore, for decades this city was a favorite haunt of the people. They used to pay visits to that city and watches the immortal beauties of that city. So therefore, he requests the sages, that great person, that if he dies in his life, he never want to take rebirth on this earth. Rebirth means taking another birth, but he doesn't want to take birth on that earth again. He never wants to return to this earth. Rather, he wants to turn into an artifice, so that it may be immortal, so that it may be permanent. Once out of nature, nature means if he dies, if he leaves this body, flesh behind, if his soul is made free from that body, from the prison of this body, he never wants to return as a human being. Rather, he prefers to be an artifice, an art. I shall never take my bodily form. He never wants this bodily form again. He is very happy to leave this body forever and never wants to return to that body form and any natural thing. And also, significantly, he never wants to turn into another thing and take birth on the earth, same earth. No, he never wants to return on this same earth. But such a form as Grecian goldsmith makes. But he wanted to be an artificial art, artifice, as the goldsmith prepares. Goldsmith means the man who prepares jewelry. No? So rather he wants to be an artificial jewelry made of gold, as these people create, Grecian goldsmiths make, of hammered gold and gold emeralding. It seems that he thinks that gold is a beautiful metal and it is loved by all. So therefore, he wanted himself to be turned into gold made jewelry, gold made artifice, so that people may love it. Gold enameling to keep a drowsy emperor awake. Even the emperors, even the kings, they are quite attracted towards art. They are quite attracted towards, fascinated towards gold. So therefore, poet wants not to take birth on the same earth and be an old person once again. Rather, he wants to be turned into a gold made jewelry or artifice, so that people may be attracted towards him. He may be he may have respect from the all walks of life. The people may be attracted towards him. So therefore, he doesn't seem to take interest being a human being. Rather, he wanted to be changed into a gold artifice. Even the emperors are attracted and set upon a golden bog to sing to lords and ladies. Golden bog means he wanted to be made an artifice made of gold, so that people may be engaged and appreciate the gold art or artifice. Even the ladies of Byzantium, of what is past or passing or to come, because there was evidence that Byzantium city was a center of the haunts of the people, because it was a beautiful people, because it was a beautiful city, because there were artifices. So therefore people from all over the world were attracted toward that city, and he also wanted to be the part of Byzantium. He may be gold and gold item or jewelry or anything that is an artificial beauty, but he may not return to the human life, because according to the author, the life of human is not magnificent. It is not so good as it is considered, no? Because the one has those who have taken birth on this earth, they are also expected to die, and before death they are also expected to be an old man, and the life of an old man has no meaning. It is a worthless life on the earth. People never respect them. Rather, they think that the life of an old man is meaningless or worthless. Particularly the young generation, they rather hate the young old man. They don't respect the old person. They are quite ignorant, and they are also ignorant about the permanent beauties. They are not hankering after the permanent beauties or artifice or monument or anything that is permanent in nature. Rather, they are running after merrymaking, sensual pleasures, that it is no permanent. It is not permanent. So, therefore, the poet wishes that if he is unable to correct the young people, he wanted to leave this city and wanted to join Byzantium. Literally, it seems that he is fed up with this city. No, but it has different levels of meaning. It means that it is just a transformation, worldly to a spiritual. No, that whatever he was talking about the human life, it was transient, it was not permanent, but he wanted to turn into such a thing that may be permanent. It means now he is taking a shift from this natural world to that a spiritual world. No, so in that way he wanted to transport himself from this earth to heavenly abode, heavenly earth. Clear है?